Paul well understood the reality of the human condition. He recognized that in the algebra of heaven, the equation reads something like this. Heaven is a perfect place for perfect people, which leaves each of us in a perfect mess. He knew that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. And since the wages of sin is death, all of us rightly deserve death. There is nothing we can do to cover up our sins. We are all clothed in the tattered garments of our sin. When I think about this, it reminds me of a suit I used to wear. It was an elegant ensemble, complete with coat, trousers, and even a hat. I considered myself quite dapper in the outfit and was confident others agreed. The pants were cut from the cloth of my good works, sturdy fabric of deeds done and projects completed. Many people complimented my trousers, and I confess, I tended to hitch them up in public so people would notice them. The coat was equally impressive. It was woven together from my convictions. Each day, I dressed myself in deep feelings of religious fervor. My emotions were quite strong, so strong, in fact, that I was often asked to model my cloak of zeal in public gatherings to inspire others. Of course, I was happy to comply. While there, I would display my hat, a feathered cap of knowledge formed with my own hands from the fabric of personal opinion. I wore it proudly. But over time, my wardrobe began to suffer. The fabric of my trousers grew thin. My best works were coming unstitched. I was leaving more undone than done, and what little I did was nothing to boast about. I resolved to solve the problem by working harder, but working harder was a problem. There was a hole in my coat of convictions. My resolve was threadbare. A cold wind cut into my chest. I reached up to pull my hat down, and the brim ripped off in my hands. My wardrobe of self-righteousness had unraveled completely. I went from tailored gentleman's apparel to a beggar's rags. I feared that God would be angry at my tattered suit, so I did my best to stitch it together and cover my mistakes, but the cloth was so worn, and the wind was so icy. Finally, I gave up. On a wintry afternoon, I stepped into His presence. My prayer was feeble. I feel naked, I said to Him. You are, He answered, and you have been for a long time. But then He said, I have something to give you. And He gently removed my remaining threads, and He picked up a regal robe, the clothing of His own goodness, and He wrapped it around my shoulders. His words to me were tender. My son, you are now clothed with Christ. I have a hunch you may know what I'm talking about. Perhaps you're wearing a handmade wardrobe yourself. You have sewn your garments and are sporting your religious deeds, and you have already noticed a tear in the fabric. If so, this journey through Romans is for you, for it is all about removing these self-made garments and accepting God's robe of grace.